Hey, what's up, team? It's Sherman here from Geek Psychology. This video is on introverted sensing as an element, and it was chosen that it's ground or earth. There were two other choices, gravity and stone, which I feel that they both really do fit in well with introverted sensing, but I'm going to try to talk more about earth. And I don't mean earth as in like plants and stuff like that. Like, I think you could think of it like that. No. I mean earth as in the ground, what you stand on, the thing that grounds electricity, extroverted intuition, and the stability that you build up from in the environment. And it's like stable grounding for your personal experiences. This is kind of how I was thinking of it anyway. And so in this video, I'm going to talk about a few different ideas related to the neuroscience of introverted sensing from Dario Nardi's work, and a little bit from the cognitive functions perspective as well. But it was really more related to how the brain works, is how I was thinking about it. And I never close my sleeves. Ta-da! Magic. It's working. The video does its magic once again. Introverted sensing, one of the first aspects I want to talk about is this push to specialize. Introverted sensors, especially the dominant function users, so the ISJs, are really into specializing in something. They're not generalists like extroverted intuition, extroverted sensing. They're very specific. And I think you can relate that to Earth in the idea that the word character comes from the Greek word meaning chisel, or it's the mark left by a chisel. And so through deliberate practice and effort, we can kind of like narrow in on the character and realize our character. And I feel that this is something that introverted sensors are really into, like really focused on, is that bringing out a proper character. Like doing your job, doing your duty, being a role model or being a model citizen or whatever you take it as. And the sculptor, Michelangelo, said that if people knew how hard I had worked to gain my mastery, it would not seem so wonderful at all. And this is also introverted sensing in a way. It's that, like, I'm going to really focus and work hard on what I'm trying to achieve so that I can get stability for myself and for the rest of the people that I'm responsible to and responsible for. And he also said every block of stone has a statue inside it, and it is the task of the sculptor to discover it. So someone who is wielding the power to control Earth would probably focus in ways like this, really trying to bring out that character and that role model, that strong, that duty, right? That you should have in order to do things right, in order to stabilize life as we know it. All right, and next up, introverted sensors want reliable consistency. They don't want things left to chance, like electricity, bouncing all over the place. You don't know which way it's going to go. Fire kind of spreading around. No, they want things to have a structure and a way of checking their past or checking with authority to understand that this is how things will work out. Kind of like a precedent, knowing which way things are going. And I feel that Earth is connected to that in the sense that you always know that there's going to be Earth below you, unless you're doing some weird stuff and jumping out of planes and stuff. Well, eventually, I guess there will be Earth below you, right? But representing themselves as that element of Earth, they are supportive, they're reliable, they're grounded, they're down to earth, focused on reality and everyday occurrences, everyday continuity, and they are rock solid. So we got a lot of puns in there. I like them. I know other people are probably like sighing right now, like, oh God. But that's okay. That's just, I like it anyway. So stubborn could also be connected to introverted sensing, and stone or rock. So this is kind of where things are getting mixed up a bit, is that stone and earth doesn't really move. It's hard to make an impression on stone unless you're putting in effort to do it. And I think introverted sensors are likely to hold on to their opinions and use their experiences until something kind of gets through that gate, like they're bouncers that are blocking other people and other insights and other input from coming in. Does that make sense? I'm not trying to like hate on introverted sensing, but I'm just saying that it takes a little bit more work to accept new ideas and new information. That just takes time, and that's kind of how it is. Earth and stone are big, they're heavy. This is connected to gravity too. They're kind of weighted down. They keep things from flying away. And I feel that introverted sensors' priorities, their inner priorities, are heavily weighted. You know, they have this thing that they want to do, whatever it is, and they really put in their effort and energy to do it because they want things to be consistent. It's not a bad idea. That's not a bad idea, right? And also recall from experiential or mental databases. This is something that introverted sensing does. You know, if they're approaching a new object, something, a new experience, they're going to check in with their past and try to pull out these experiences in kind of a batch format, not in a streaming way, but a batch format, and check, okay, does this work? Does this make sense? Is this how things are likely to proceed? Okay, then let's go with that. And so you could think of this as landmarks. I feel that these landmarks help for continuity and for flow and helping people follow something. Like, go over there, there's a tree and a mountain over there, so that's the direction you gotta go, and you know, it's a landmark. I don't need to explain what a landmark is, do I? Okay, anyway. Set in stone. Your experiences are, in many ways, they feel like they're set in stone, and that they have this grounding, pulling weight on you that it's kind of hard to get away from. This could be a gravity type connection. And also, introverted sensing looks to authority. And this could be like worshiping the ground that someone walks on. So they themselves also, I think, in a lot of ways, would like to be that authority because of their way of approaching things. Like, they are reliable, they're sturdy, they're stable. So they should also be in a position of authority. Not necessarily wanting to. Like, they're not going to push their authority on everybody. I guess some people could, but it's more of like, I'm putting in my time and my duty and my sweat and tears into this thing because I know that if it's going to get done, I got to be the one to do it. And so that kind of brings in that idea of, you know, worshiping the ground someone walks on. And so continuing from there, talking about the aspirations of introverted sensors connected to earth and ground and a little bit of stone and gravity, is this idea of having a firm, reliable ground to stand on. This is what they want. They don't want to be lost in a void. I just kind of like drifted away right there. They don't want to be lost in a void or anything like that. They don't want to not know where they're going and if it's okay to put their best foot forward. Okay, they want to have a kind of a walkthrough in a way, knowing exactly where to go. Because why waste your time doing stuff that's just gonna try to like reinvent the wheel, you know? And to know where they are and what to expect. is the goal of introverted sensing in a lot of ways. So knowing the lay of the land, having clear ground rules for how to approach something, and living off the land as well is, I think, something that introverted sensors are kind of keen on. Surviving off what they produce and the effort that they've brought out through their hard work, and be at kind of the foundation of whatever project it is, and working to build a good life for themselves. I have several ESTJ friends in my life. So this is the auxiliary function, but still they work really hard. I keep pushing this in there, but they work really hard to build a life that is good for themselves and that is stable. They put in those extra hours. They try to have a good place within their community, try to kind of chisel out that nice place for them to be. And I think it really works for them. And preparing the ground for what to do, to make sure things happen successfully, I think is very important. Also, more and more ground and earth idioms and expressions, being the salt of the earth. Assuming that they're good people, I like to talk about all of these types as if they're very good people. They want to be this good, worthy person, being the salt of the earth. That's what that means. And embodying kind of simplicity and moral integrity, I think, is very important for them. And now going from there are the fears. So the opposite of the aspirations would usually be the fears, like not being grounded is a fear, having no stability, not landing on both feet, not having both feet on the ground, or a foot at least on the ground. And they don't want anything earth-shattering to come in, because that's their element, right? They don't want that to be shattered. They don't want any surprising or shocking stuff to just pop up that they would have to deal with. And introverted sensing itself kind of struggles to get things off the ground and leave its own gravity, leave its own weight, I feel. And it takes that extroverted judging function to do that. It takes extroverted thinking or extroverted feeling to really give that push, right? And so that could be a struggle for Earth users, for introverted sensors. And also Enneagram 6s are going to want to keep an ear to the ground and kind of listen for any danger, any new things that are going to happen that they might need to be on the watch for. Okay, and then a couple more just random ideas, and talking a little bit about spells, because that's just, and abilities, because that's just where I went with this. Introverted sensors want to stand firm against the events that weather normal people. Earth is a very stable element. Not sand and dirt, but like earth. And so they feel that they can be there for a long time, and whatever comes their way, they'll find a way to deal with it until that inferior extroverted intuition comes out, which kind of, causes some havoc. Let's just say that. It makes them catastrophize. And so they build momentum like a rolling rock, and abilities like earthquake, I think, are pretty good. Split earth, crush. They kind of want to slowly crush their problems. I don't know. Sand, rock, mud, rock shield. Definitely there's this kind of introverted sensing shield that's protecting them from random chaos. And also like a ward, a barrier, maybe knock back, and kind of pushing problems a little bit away. You can protect yourself, build that barrier until it's time to progress forward. Okay, so these are just a bunch of different random ideas connected to introverted sensing and ground or earth or stone or gravity. Thank you for voting, everybody. I hope I did the voting justice by talking enough about earth. And I want to hear your ideas. as always, comment down below. Does this work for you if you are an introverted sensor? Like, you feel what I'm talking about here? If not, let me know, because I want to know that too. And the next video, I'm not sure if I'm going to do the judging functions or not. I have so many just different ideas that I want to explore, and we'll see what happens. Also, I'll be thinking about doing another live video. Might do it very soon. I need to know what time is best for everybody. Everybody's on a different schedule, myself included, being in Tokyo, so that's yeah, it causes some issues. Alright, so anyway, thank you very much for watching. Patrons as well, thank you very much as always for your monthly contributions. Y'all are great. And please share if this was helpful for you, or if you think it'll be helpful for somebody in your life. And keep up the lifelong questing. Good luck, have fun. There's a plane coming. Peace. Always the planes. The plane, the plane.